Hello, my name is Ricardo and welcome back to another Wilson's video. In this week's Car of the Week episode, we're going to be exploring this beautiful car beside me, the Alfa Romeo Stelvio. If you're in the market for a family SUV that offers that unique style, that Italian driving spirit and flair, and has this badge, this Alfa Romeo badge, then this Stelvio is the car you've most likely been looking for. This car that we have here beside me today is the 2.2 litre diesel with 210 horsepower. It is a Euro 6 status diesel engine, which means it's ULEZ compliant. So if you live within the ULEZ zones, this Alfa Romeo Stelvio is still absolutely perfect for you. Being a diesel, it's got that fantastic low-end torque, which means that you can win those traffic light Grand Prix, which you'll be competing in your Alfa Romeo Stelvio. Let's come and check out these 20-inch alloys on our Stelvio Milano. This multi-spoke design just screams Alfa Romeo design to me. Right behind we've got our Brembo brakes, which come as standard on the 2.2 diesel. Moving across the rest of the side of the Stelvio, we've got that very masculine and bold look, which epitomises the design language that Alfa Romeo have decided to opt for with the Stelvio Milano edition. We've got this black trim down at the bottom for the side skirts to help give the car a bit more of that sleek look and side profiling stance, which runs across from the wheel arches all the way down the car to the rear. I've always really adored the rear end design of the Stelvio. I like how we've got this sweeping effect that starts off with the tailgate spoiler and it just arcs all the way down and wraps nicely across to the boot. Speaking of the boot, it's electronically power lifted, which leads us nicely across to our 525 litre boot capacity. Now this is fantastic for those family weekends away, the weekly shop, or even for those people that love hitting the golf course. Sorry everyone, I was just checking out that really wicked interior. Now back to the video. Styling with Alfa Romeo is always going to be important. And with the Stelvio, you've got that traditional Alfa Romeo styling cues. Starting off with the front here, we've got the traditional Alfa Romeo Scudetto, the grille. Across, we've got our full LED daytime running lights, which look absolutely sharp, both during the day and at night. Further down, we've got our sensors, which are nicely integrated into our vents. Very, very clever there by Alfa Romeo, as it's not intrusive to the actual design of the car. Moving across back to the grille here, we've got this really nice aluminium effect, which helps to give that premium and bold look. The Alfa Romeo logo, anyone that watched our last video with Alfa Romeo, with the Junior, I went into detail of what the badge actually represented. Now, if you know what the badge means and the whole meaning behind the Alfa Romeo brand with Il Vascone, leave a little comment below. Moving across to the interior of the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, it is an absolutely lovely place to be. It is typical Alfa Romeo design, and let's face it, Alfa do know how to design an interior. I absolutely love how they've designed this dashboard with a sweeping effect which integrates nicely into our digital infotainment area, which I'll come to in a moment. We've got our Canocchiale display right ahead of us, which is something that archives back to Alfa Romeo's going all the way back to the 1950s. That's a really, really nice touch that I like that Alfa have included here on this Stelvio. We've got this really sporty looking flat-bottomed leather-wrapped steering wheel where we've got our easy controls for access to our infotainment screen. Behind our steering wheel we've got these fantastic feeling aluminium gear shifter paddles. On our left we've got our downshift, on our right we've got our upshift. It makes you feel like you're in a Ferrari. But another thing that I really like that Alfa Romeo have cleverly thought out about this is actually not attached to the steering wheel. So when you're going around a corner or a roundabout, you know where your downshift and upshift is at all times. Well done, Alfa. Another thing that I really like in this particular Milano edition that we've got here, we've got the upgraded Veloce seats, which are very, very supportive. As well as being supportive, they look incredibly easy on the eye. I love how we've got the Alfa Romeo logo actually embroidered into the headrest. Again, it's just these little fine details that Alfa Romeo love to include. And I think it's elements like this that help cars like the Stelvio to stand out in the SUV market. Moving down to our center console, we've got this lovely aluminium finish. Beside that, we've got our Alfa Romeo DNA selector switch. Now, if you watched our recent video on the all-new Alfa Romeo Junior Elettrica, I went into some detail about the origins of how this changes the driving modes in Alfa Romeos. In this Stelvio that we've got here today, we'll go into our three driving modes. In all weather, it increases our traction control, aiding safety in wet conditions. Another fantastic element about this is that this Stelvio is four-wheel drive. We've got an 80-20 split here, sending 80% of the power to the rear wheels. But in the all-weather mode to aid traction, it's a 50-50 split, which is fantastic for increasing safety and putting down the traction in slippery conditions. In normal mode, the car feels a bit more spirited to drive. The steering tends to weight up a bit more and you have a bit more confidence in what the front end of the Stelvio is doing. But let's face it, if you're buying an Alfa Romeo, you're going to be spending the majority of your time in dynamic mode. What is dynamic mode? Well, in dynamic mode, the throttle response sharpens quite nicely. Our steering becomes a bit more reactive. We have a bit more weight to it as well. But we also have full access to our 210 horsepower. And with the low-end torque capabilities of this engine, this Alfa Romeo absolutely flies. This Milano edition Stelvio also has a factory-fitted sunroof, which I think will definitely add that airy feel to the interior. When this is open, you'll be thinking that you're driving in the streets of Rome. Thank you for watching our little review here on this Alfa Romeo Stelvio Milano edition 2.2 litre diesel. Now, if you are in the market for that family SUV but are looking still for that spirited and engaging drive, as well as that fantastic Italian design and flair, then this Alfa Romeo Stelvio is likely the car that you have been looking for. This Stelvio is currently for sale here at Wilson's Epsom for only £17,499. So if you are interested in booking yourself in for a test drive, contact our friendly team here in Epsom today. Now, don't forget to subscribe to our channel to see more engaging content, and we will see you again in the next video.